All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's Saturday afternoon, just after 4 o'clock on a wet Saturday here in the New York, New Jersey area, much to my dismay. Oh boy. Remember the number to call is 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662. And we'll be here just before 6 o'clock when Rizal McGee takes over his fine show, which I'll join shortly after that. And Kevin Nixon, mostly Monday nights from 6 to 8. Yeah, could switch from Tuesday or Wednesday on occasion, but mostly 6 Monday night. And whenever Betty decides to do her show, she'll be ready. Don't forget, you can also check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show.com, and voila, you're there. All right, before we begin, a couple announcements. I want to send my condolences out to the people of, let's say, from Tennessee all the way down to Florida, as the hurricane is wreaking havoc on the southeastern part of the United States. And I hope that everything is okay. I hope you're all safe and everything, and we are praying for you out there. So, we're all thinking of you. Just be careful. And I want to say a very early happy birthday to someone who's a very special part of my life, of course, and also a contributor to this program, as she has been for the past. What are we now in our seventh year? Yeah, seventh year. She's been here almost from the beginning. She joined in a few weeks late. Hang on, Betty. But you love her, and she's always here to get trivia ready. Diane Testa. So happy early birthday, Diane. All right, we'll bring in the calls now, and let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got Steve. Sorry, for some reason, I didn't see the number come up, but you're there. Okay, Steve Kent, Mikey, Alex, my significant other, Diane, and Betty. I think. Yeah, it's Betty. All right. All right, so I was trying to think, where should we begin this week? Well, I always hate to be the bearer of bad news, or in this case, a comic tragedy, as the case may be. But we had a history on the wrong side of the sports world this week. I think you pretty much know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's finally true. Uh, the Chicago White Sox are now the most historically pathetic team in the history of Major League Baseball. That's right. It happened. Last night, all the fruitions came true as the Chicago White Sox lost their, ready for this, guys, a pathetic, miserable 121 losses on the season. That's right. And now home, the dubious honor or dishonor, as the case may be, of most losses in the MLB season since 1900. Back then, I think only cavemen were playing that game. Kind of. Oh boy. So the team took the news into reference that dominated social media accounts lately, including mine. Here's how the final hour was recorded in the record-breaking loss and sent the Tigers into the postseason. That's right, the Tigers got into the postseason. I know someone's going to be happy about that. The White Sox previously tied the 1962 Mets for the 1962 with a record of 40, 120, and 1. Yes, they did play ties back then, and obviously the 162 game was when it rained out or didn't matter. So the White Sox tied the mark on September 22nd with a loss to the Padres, but a surprising 3-game home sweep by the Angels delayed that by 3 days. Actually, I'm not surprised by that much at all because the Angels are just as bad. So the White Sox had 2 games on their schedule, and it could get worse. It's been a season of lowlights in Chicago on the south side, but this has to be, of course, the lowest of all. The White Sox win percentage dropped to .244. Only the 1916 Philadelphia A's, who play 8 fewer games than that, will keep the record for the worst win percentage of .235. And equally bad, we now call them Oakland, which won't be Oakland anymore, but I'll explain that a little bit later. Don't forget, back then there was no West Coast teams. So, and their season ended just as bad at 36 and 117. Okay, they have fewer wins than Chicago, but they also have 4 fewer losses. So it kind of balances out. The historic season for all the wrongdoing, the historic season for all the wrong reasons, holds 2 notable losing streaks. If you've been following along this season, you know what they are. First was a 14-game losing streak that ended on June 7th. Then came a losing streak of They came out of a losing streak with a 15-48 record. The White Sox topped that mark. That straddled the All-Star break. They lost the last 4 games before the break, and the first 17 after that, giving a 21-game losing streak. That, I guess not. So the Orioles for the longest losing streak in the American League and let the White Sox at 27-88 and a winning percentage of .235, which is not much of a winning percentage at all. If there's any consolation in this, and there is, the White Sox did not extend their streak to 22, which is the AL record, and did not break the overall record of 23 losses in a row by the 1961 Phillies. Either way, though, you gotta admit it's pretty sad, pathetic when you think about it. I mean, this has been a joke right from the start, and I don't know about anyone else, but I think if anybody's in the Chicago area or nearby, I think they're glad to say that this season is over, and hopefully want to repeat that again. What could be worse? Hey, next year 122. And again, they can make it 123 wins if they lose the next 2 games this year. But you gotta kind of feel bad a little bit for them. I mean, it was a terrible season for the White Sox, and I didn't think that it was possible to even break the 1962 Mets record. I mean, that's 60 years. Of course, you got to remember that the 62 Mets were an expansion team, and expansion teams are supposed to be miserable in their first year, even if you only win like 40 games, but that's expected. This is a team that's been around since the beginning of the baseball era, and it is, although they are historically bad. But this is just beyond bad. I mean, it was a long time ago, but it didn't seem that long ago that when the White Sox actually won a World Series back in 2005, and they waited 888 years to get it. Okay, maybe not that long, but you get the idea. And to go from that to now the most horrific team in baseball history, oof, I mean, it really is that's just horrible. I mean, White Sox and Cubs, they've been perennial losers for decades until the White Sox won their World Series, and then the Cubs did in 2016. And I thought maybe there'd be a turnaround in the Chicago area, but now they just seem like to go, back into the dumpster fire. Sorry to say. So, does anybody have any thoughts on this historically bad making season of the White Sox. Steve Davis, I'll start that with you. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. And that's a bargain. Steve Kent. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Even that. Okay. Alan just came in. Your thoughts on the White Sox historically atrocious season that is now hope is now coming to an end on the historically bad White Sox season. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, how's the area where you are? Because I know you got the did you get affected by the hurricane? Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. Benny, uh should say that. All right, Benny, your thoughts on the White Sox. I would think maybe like another there's always like another 10 years in this case. Oof. Okay. I can resist. Mike, Alex. Hmm. No. Yes. Obviously not. No. That's indeed. Yes. Right. No. Yeah. Right. Right. It is. Yeah. I'll get to I'll get to Oakland in a minute. Diane, your thoughts. Excuse me. You can say that again. Matthew, your thoughts on the thankfully end of the White Sox season. Okay, I'll move on. Speaking of Oakland, well, it was the end of an era as the A's played their final home game of their existence in Oakland on Thursday. After 57 years, well, in the words of Don Meredith, the party's over. And it is. Oh boy. So, but fans were kind of, celebrating and feeling sad at the same time as fans were lining up at 6 a.m. in the morning to catch this game one last time. Yeah, yeah, right at the Coliseum at 6 a.m. are already pounding shots, whatever. And 11 hours later, with burning throats and tears in their eyes, the crowd slowly walked out of the Oakland Coliseum one last time. Dave Stewart, though, the former A's pitcher, kind of put this in a rather gruesome way to think about it. It's like going to a body. It's like going to view a body," said Dave Stewart. "Then you're going to the funeral and you have a meltdown. And brother, I had my meltdown this afternoon." That's kind of grim when you think about that. I mean, really, that's a grim statement right there. So at 6:06 p.m. here, 3:06 over there, which was an afternoon game, the baseball world pronounced baseball dead in the city of Oakland. The franchise had seen better days as they delivered 4 World Series titles and 6 American League pennants and 17 division titles to the Bay Area. So it was only fitting to close out their final game at home with the win. Yes, at once upon a time, the Oakland A's were actually good, even in my day. Once the final hour was recorded in the A's win over the Rangers, the sellout crowd of 48,669, the largest crowd in 5 years, chanted, "Let's go, Oakland." The players congratulated each other and gathered at the pitcher's mound. They stood together and listened to manager Mark Costi, who once played for the A's over 20 years ago, gave an emotional thank you to the crowd. The sellout crowd, the A's was the first of the 2019 wild card at the Coliseum, wanting to be together one last time to show love and admiration. They came wearing jerseys of their favorite players, from Reggie Jackson to Ricky Henderson, Coco Rice Krispies to Stephen Voigt. I'm sorry, and watched replays of their first World Series title back in 1972 up on the big scoreboard. They won 3 titles actually. The last one was in '89. There were 120 police officers and 500 security officers to help prevent violence or unruly behavior, which was kind of expected, as stadium seats were stolen and team stores vandalized earlier this week. Oh, gee, I wonder why. There were no violent incidents at the game, though there were a couple of hooligans in the crowd that got a bit rowdy with chants of "Sell the team, sell the team." Okay, I had a little bit of that one. And some obscene language, which I will not say on this show, of course, and a few smoke bombs thrown by a few so-called fans. If you're doing that, I don't call you a fan at all. Otherwise, what was a fondly remembered farewell, minus those little incidents. Huh, kind of sad to see it go, but when you think about over the last 10 years, make that the last 20 years that they really haven't drawn much of a crowd. I mean, I know it's a dumpster fire of a stadium, but even when the A's were good in those years, you couldn't even draw a crowd. And now, sorry to say that it's over, as they're now heading up to Vegas. Well, actually, no, that's Sacramento first, then to Vegas. But still, it's kind of a sad ending to a team that was once, proud to be in Oakland, and now Oakland doesn't have any major teams in the area. Raiders are gone. Yeah, Golden State moved up across the turnpike. Uh, Hockey, no, there's none Oakland. The closest to them is San Jose, which is not far from there, but still, it's not Oakland. So it's really a sad statement that Oakland doesn't have anybody left anymore. Yeah, yeah, right. And I'm sure they are. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Egger You sure you wanna mention Eckersley? Yeah. Yeah, but you sure you wanna mention Eckersley after having 1988? Mhm. Yes. Really? You Your class was moved? True, true. Yes. Right. Understandable. Of course. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, just throw darts in the picture. I mean, that's less dangerous, you know? I know I know. Right. Yeah. Well, I would put it like this: "Kill the ump!" Sorry. I had yeah, we can't do that. Can't do that here, but I get it. Yeah. Mm. Oh, yeah. 84. Mhm. There you are. Yeah, so do I. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Well, we knew this was coming, it just took a long time to prepare for it. Now it's finally here. But it's, kinda sad at the same time. I mean, it's the end of an era not just for the team, but, for the city as well. Nothing left. Sure. Yeah. Yes. Right. It is. No, that's a sad part. You're there, but you don't support your team, and so, now all of a sudden that they're leaving, now you show up. Where were you 5, 10, 15 years ago? Hiding in shame. Yeah. Yeah. Can change, yeah. No, it never does. Right. I think some of those were actually well, I think actually some of those were fans made out of cardboard, boxes, so I think they counted that. Okay, next. Oh, boy. I swear I did not write that joke. Okay. So on to the pennant, the division, winners. The Dodgers have clinched, their, NL West title, thanks to Will Smith, tying 2-run homer, and the Dodgers scored 3 more in the 7th to beat the Padres and clinch the NL West. But the celebration was dampened by injury to Freddie Freeman in the game after colliding with Luis Arnaz, and the first base tried to avoid being tagged for the second out. Yeah, yeah, nice going, buddy. Freeman grabbed his right leg before hobbling off to the field. The Dodgers at 95 and 64 have not clinched home division since the pandemic season of 2020. As I mentioned, the cardboard cutout fans replaced them. The last time fans saw the Dodgers clinch a home was 2018. A solid crowd of 53,000 was a hands to watch the finale of the series. Both teams do clinch playoff spots, though. I don't know if the schedule is out yet for the first round. I'm gonna see here just in case, because the regular season does end Monday, for obvious reasons, and for the majority, it ends tomorrow. And all games will be played within 20 minutes of each other. Hmm, interesting. I I knew that. All right, here's where we stand now. Here's where we're gonna stand now. Listen carefully. All right, never, never. All right, yes. All right, here's where we stand, guys, as of now. All right. The wild cards go like this. Oh, first let me give you the division winners. The division winners, the teams that are in are the Yankees, of course. I know how some of you were just sickened by that. Clinch a playoff spot with the win against the Seattle Mariners, followed by clinching the AL East title. The Brewers clinched the season's first playoff spot when they secured the NL Central's crown for the third time in 4 years. The Guardians, formerly known as the Indians, clinched the playoff spot with a win over the Minnesota Twins, and followed by clinching the AL Central crown. I still call them the Indians, thank you. The Dodgers clinched the playoff spot with their 20-4 blowout win over the Fish, aka the Marlins, and have won the NL West title for the 11th time in 12 years, but at that time have only won one World Series, which was the pandemic year of 2020. Because as a good friend of mine, who I can't mention the show for obvious reasons, told me this one thing. He said, Louis, who is the only team that the Dodgers can beat? He said, the Dodgers themselves. The Dodgers themselves. They're the ones that can be beaten. That's terrible. All right. The Phillies, who clinched the division early, clinched their third straight playoff spot with a win over the Mets on Friday. Sorry. With a win over the Cubs on Monday, they clinched their first NL East title since 2011 and went to the World Series in 2021 or 22 rather. The Astros beat the Mariners on Tuesday to clinch their fourth consecutive AL East division title. And the Orioles clinched the spot last night. Thank you very much. Thank you, Roger. Now keep in mind this 2020. Yeah, yeah, right. Yes, that's right. Now keep in mind this is a little bit outdated, so it's saying Baltimore's with the win over the Yankees and the Twins lost to Marlins. The Orioles, okay, they did clinch a playoff spot. So this might be a little bit outdated, but bear with me on that, okay? All right. Now this is rare even here. Listen to this. With a rare game ending triple play to steal the win against the Dodgers, the Padres clinched their spot in the postseason. A rare triple play to win it. Wow. The Tigers, they got in. I know somebody's happy about that. By handing the White Sox the record 121st loss of the season, the Tigers ended a 10-year postseason drought. And I know some Michigan fans are going to be very happy. Dwayne's on the show right now. Finally, the Twins lost on Friday. With the Twins losing on Friday, the Kansas City Royals clinched the final American League playoff spot for the first time since they won it all in 2015. Now, as for who can clinch next, I will tell you. In the NL, the D-backs, the Mets, the Braves are in a virtual tie for the two remaining wildcard spots. This is going to be very interesting. Now, here's how it would stack up if the playoffs were today. The wildcard round, the Royals would play the Astros, and the Tigers would play the Orioles. The Yankees are not involved in this series at all, thank goodness. In the ALDS, it'd be the Royals versus Astros versus Guardians, Tigers versus Orioles, or the Yankees. It's a bit confusing when you get this route, folks. In the National League, the wild card, the Mets would be at the Brewers, and the Braves would be at the Padres. In the NLDS, The Brewers versus Phillies or Braves. Wait, Mets and Brewers versus Phillies and or Braves Mets Braves Padres versus the Dodgers. Tiebreakers. If LA and Philadelphia tie for best record, the Phillies would get the top seed because of a better head-to-head record against the Dodgers this season. Okay, makes a lot of sense. If the Guardians and the Yankees, go ahead. Right, right, but we still have 2 games to go. All right. If the Guardians and the Yankees tie for AL's best record, the Yankees will get the top seed because they won head-to-head matches against the Gargoyles, Guardians. Sorry. If the Braves and Mets tie, which is certainly possible, the Braves currently hold the tiebreaker by virtue of a 6-5 edge in the head-to-head season with 2 games remaining. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. But that's regular. Yeah, but it can still remain. But even if that happened with the same, yeah. But if that happened, the Braves would get it. So the Mets have to win. Gee, you thought last week you thought it was a surefire thing that the Mets were going to make it. Now they're in, they're in their own fate right now. Okay, so yeah, yeah, nope, nope. Actually, JFK. Yes, right. I was gonna, I was gonna say JFK. Well, Alex, I was gonna say JFK, but all right, I'll take one for you. Yes, yes. Case in point, that has happened. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, moving on. In the event of a two-team tie involving the D-backs for the NL's final wildcard spot, the Mets and Braves both hold the tiebreaker because they won the season series. Now, for the American League, the Yankees fended off the Orioles. Both teams have clinched playoff berths in a battle for the AL East crown, while the Guardians and Astros have both clinched division titles. 2 more AL Central teams, the Tigers and the Royals, round out the field. Wow. So let's see here. All right. Oops, wrong button. All right. Yankees make the playoffs 100%. Clinch division title 100%. Clinch by 99%, whatever that means. And wild card, nothing, because they don't need it. Guardians, same numbers. And Astros, pretty much similar, except clinch the by 1%. Orioles make the playoffs 100%, but that clinch the division, not a chance. Clinch by, wild card, yes. Tigers, 100% make the playoffs. No, did not clinch division. Don't get a bye. 100% wild card. It's kind of a weird statistic, but I have it here anyway. Royals, 100%. Yes, make the playoffs. Didn't clinch a wild card. Didn't clinch a bye. 100% wild card. And the White Sox, zeros across the board. What a shock. Loser. Yeah. Wild cards. Zero make the playoffs. Zero clinch division. Zero bye, and zero wild card. Oh, what a surprise. Yeah. Yeah. Just to mention 2017, please, because that really just irks me. Ugh. 2017. Yeah, right. No, but I'm referring to the 2017 ALCS. Uh, they hit a home run at the bottom of the ninth and sent the Yankees home. Oh, I was sick. Okay, National League. Dodgers, yep, clinched playoffs, clinched the division. 99% chance of a bye. They made zero wild card. Phillies, same across the board. Um, Brewers, 100% make the playoffs. They clinch the division. 1% chance of getting a bye. Zero wild card. Padres, 100%. Yes, they make the playoffs, but don't get the division or wild card. I mean, division or a bye. They get the wild card. Braves, 79% make the playoffs. Won't clinch the division, won't get the bye, but they'll get the 79% wild card. A good chance. D backs, 62% they make the playoffs, and a 62% chance that they make the wild card. The Mets have the fewest odds. They're only 59% a chance to make the playoffs. They won't clinch the division or a bye. Now that's kind of low when you think about it. They were. But I'll tell you though, I was worried. I was worried about this. I said to myself, I said, self, the self said, what? Well, the last 6 games, they were going to the Braves for three. They got to make up the two because of that. And, now they got to play three against the Brewers. They lost to the Brewers last night. So now this puts them in a hole. 3 weeks, never mind 3 weeks ago, well, about just a week ago or a few days ago, they were in the driver's seat. Now they're on the back end of it, and this is going to be kind of tough because the Mets, as good as they were this season, are not good on the road. So that could cost them. Yeah. Well, well, as yeah, yeah. Hmm. Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And incidentally, yeah. And with the Yankees on that note, Aaron Judge did it again. 50 home run of the season, and home run for the fifth straight game on Thursday, and being the Birds 10-1 on Thursday night. Giancarlo Stanton, the Achilles heel of the team, had 4 RBIs, but his 27th home run of the season, as well as Alex Verdugo in home run, and Garrett Cole outpitched Corbin Burns, which should have been a pitcher's duel, but wasn't. And Judge and Stanton homered together for the 14th time of the season, tying the 1961 record by Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, who broke the single season home run record at the time. And the division now is wrapped up. They have a first round bye and do not play again until Friday. Coming up short last season hurts, said Judge. It hurts just like every other year, but when you don't win a World Series, but this one hurt more. So we made a statement, came back here and put ourselves in a good position for the postseason. And so the Orioles going to play that spot on the first game on Tuesday, and will play in a best of three wildcard series this coming Tuesday as well. Okay, now from the sublime to the absolutely ridiculous. I'll try to keep this one short as I possibly can. Rays shortstop Wander Franco will stand trial on charges that he sexually abused a minor following a judge's ruling in the Dominican Republic on Thursday. What a show. Judge Pascal Venezuela determined that both the accusation and the evidence presented by the prosecution had sufficient merits to warrant a trial. Valenzuela, who would rule on a verdict, trial date has not been set yet. Franco was placed on MLB's restrictive list in July. Sources had told ESPN after prosecutors, prosecutories in the Dominican Republic leveled 3 charges against him for an alleged sexual relationship with a 14-year-old. What are you, stupid? Franco put on administrative leave as part of the deal between the league and the Player Association, being that the that you are. Uh, the agreement includes provision that the administrative leave during Franco was paid would his payment would end if he was charged. Yeah, good move on that one. Ugh. He's also under investigation under his domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy until the case is resolved. Because Franco cannot leave the country under his bail agreement, the inability to report allowed the Rays to pursue the placement of Franco on the restricted list. Also on Thursday, the father of the girl in late January that filed a complaint against Franco reached an agreement with Franco's representatives and withdrew his complaint. The terms of the agreement were not disclosed during the hearing. What an idiot. Come on. A 14-year-old, what? And he was 23 at the time as well. What a jerk. Yeah. Yeah. You should you shouldn't be. You should what were you thinking? Or then again, were you thinking at all? What kind of a guy would do it for a 14-year-old no less? Ugh. Any other thoughts on this or just move on? Yeah, not to mention his career. Yes. Over something so stupid. Yeah. I wouldn't want him in there. Okay. Yes. Mhm. We'll see. All right. Yes. Yeah. I I thought we canceled it. Oh, Alex, I, canceled that tempo poll yesterday, by the way. Okay, so, yes. I ordered a bigger one today. Alright. Anywho, Steve, you got any, wrestling or UFC news you wanna mention? Go. All the guys say ready. Yeah, that's my base. Yeah, just go with UFC, okay? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Hold it, guys. Wait. I got I gotta take this one call because it might be a trap. So hold on. Okay, this is a wireless call. No number or name was given, but would you state your name, please? Isaiah. Okay. I'm sorry. When I see it as a wireless caller, I get a little panic. But thanks. Phew. Okay, Steve, go on. Right. Mr. Miami. Yeah. I'll ask you one thing though, Isaiah. What is wrong with your Dolphins this year? Really? Tell me more. I mean, I thought maybe you had a chance against the Bills, but you got destroyed. Good thing I didn't win that game. Yeah, you better. Okay. Diane, your trivia. Hold it. Go ahead. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, I'll give you a hint. Da-da. I'll give you a hint. Da, 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 da. Brazil, 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 England. Oh, no, Brazil's just a better team. That's all. Okay. Okay. All right, can I move on? I believe it's 68 to 70. Yep. Yes. 47. Okay. 32. 32. My process of elimination. Greg has something he'd like to bring up. Go ahead, Greg. You were mentioning golf. Go ahead. Ah, yeah, surprised you guys played. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Yes. Okay, great. Have you been following the President's Cup match? Right now is okay, well, I think this site's a little bit outdated, but at last check, the US was up by 2 over the international squad, 8-6. Second up is for the American is, Adam Scott and Taylor Herdrith, and for the Americans, it's Brian, Harmon and Max Homa. Third up of the national squad. Yeah, mhm. But comparing baseball to golf. Yes, right. Yeah. Alright. Tomorrow, tomorrow's last day, tomorrow's last day. Okay. So to yeah, so to give a quick update on that, I will show you. Mackenzie Hughes and Corey Burns are one up on the international side, and Sam Burns and Colin Markow is one up on the American side. Over on the other side, two up, Siwoo Kim and Tom Kim. I don't know if they're related for the international. Uh, Patrick Cantlay and Alexander Sheffley on the American side, two up. I don't think it's in relation to Betty, but sorry. Two up, Hideki Masamina and Sanjay Im on the international side, and Russell Henley and Scotty Schiffer on the American side. Okay, and that's going down to the final. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, right. I will keep tabs on this though as the week goes on. Uh, yes, yes, right. Okay. All right. So moving on to college football. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. We'll start off with Friday since there is a top 25 matchup involved here. Number 8, Oregon versus Michigan State. Sorry. Steve Davidson, your thoughts? Oregon, Michigan State on Friday. All right. Steve Kent. All right. Uh, mhm. All right. Diane. Mike. Of course. Alex. Eddie. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. And Virginia. Wait, Dana, is that you? Dana, or whoever this is. Oh, never mind. Okay, moving on. I think it's you know who. All right, Saturday, Tennessee versus Arkansas. Steve Davidson. Thank you, Arrested Development. All right. Steve Kent. Yes. Diane. Mike. Alex. Betty. Matt. Yes. Roger. Ooh. Isaiah. Greg. Greg. Okay. Okay. And from the Virginia area. Oh, wait, that must be you know who. Excuse me. Okay, continuing on. All right, Penn State, UCLA. Steve Kent. Steve Davidson, rather. Okay, now Steve Kent. All right. But I'm going to go with Tennessee as well and Oregon. Diane. Mike. Alex. Betty. Matthew. Penn State over UCLA. It says UCLA here. No, this is for October 5th. Remember, I do a week ahead for college. Okay. All right, moving on. Because the time we got on the air, half the game was already over, so there's no point in doing this week. All right. Moving on. Benny. All right. Uh, Penn State, UCLA. Okay. Matthew. Right. That's all right. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. All right. Go Lions. That's what I say. All right. Michigan, Washington. Steve Kent. Steve Kent. All right. Steve Davidson. Sorry about that. Diane. Mike. Alex. Benny. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Michigan it is. Okay, that's what I say too. USC versus Minnesota. All right, Matt, who do you got? Okay, Steve Davidson, Steve Kent, Diane, Mike, Alex, Benny, Roger, Isaiah, Greg, Minnesota. You know, kind of tough one because the Golden Gophers are good at home. Yeah, you're right. USC, I think, is going to take it. But don't count Minnesota at home, okay? All right. Clemson versus Florida State. Oh, boy. All right. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. You can say that again. All right. Diane. All right. Mike. Alex. Betty. Matthew. Roger. No. Roger. Isaiah. And Greg. Clemson across the board. Okay. Iowa State Baylor. Steve Davidson. You can have the whole state if you want. Steve Kent. Diane. Excuse me. I hate ragweed season. Mike. Alex. Benny. Ooh. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Iowa State it is. Okay. Boise State versus Utah State. D. Davidson. Steve Kent. I'm going to be honest with your opinions, please. Okay. Diane. All right. Mike. All right. Alex. Betty. Betty. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Okay, we lost him. I'm gonna go Boise as well. All right. Ooh, good matchup here, guys. Missouri or Missouri versus Texas A&M. D. Davidson. All right. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Uh, Alex. Benny. Okay. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Oh, okay. Missouri, Texas A&M. I go Texas A&M too. Sorry, guys. Okay. Louisville versus Southern Methodist University, or SMU for short. Steve Davidson. All right. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Texas. Okay. Uh, oh, oops. Wrong button again, Judson. Uh, Alex. Benny. Matt. Roger. Okay. Isaiah. Greg. Gonna go Louisville. Yeah, I'm gonna go Louisville. SMU is miserable anyway. All right. Ooh, good one here. Number two, Georgia versus Auburn. D. Davidson. Steve Kent. No. Diane. Mike. All right. Alex. Benny. Matt. All right. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Okay. All right. The Ohio State versus Iowa. D. Davidson. All right. Steve Kent. Right. Diane. Mike. I think you should say that. All right. Alex. Nope. Betty. Matt. Roger. Isaiah. And Greg. Yeah. Unanimous again. All right. All right. Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Benny. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Greg. Ole Miss it is. All right. Four. Uh, oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Oklahoma State, West Virginia. D. Davidson. Steve Kent. Uh-huh. Ah, ha, ha. Yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. Diane. Yes. Okay. Mike. I just was going to do that, though. Okay. Alex. Hey, hey, Betty. Matt. Roger. Isaiah. Great. Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. But I'm gonna go Oklahoma State. Okay, now Alabama. Alabama versus, excuse me, Vanderbilt. Okay. Is there anybody here who thinks Vanderbilt has a chance against Alabama? All together, all together. You guys call yourself a chorus. Okay. Uh, finally, the top 25. Miami. Okay. Okay. Um, top 25. The top 25. Miami versus Cal. Steve Davidson. Yes, yes, they were. Yeah. Yes, it was. Right. You're right. Okay. I gotta move on. Okay. Steve, I gotta move on, Steve. I gotta move on. Steve Kent. Right. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Benny. Matt. Roger. Isaiah. Same with me, Miami. Okay, on the local scene, I gotta do that. Because actually Rutgers has been pretty good this year. Okay, sorry, Mike. I was trying to get rid. Okay, Miami. All right. Now for the local scene, which is Rutgers, which has been doing pretty good this year so far, 4-0. Up against Nebraska. Okay, I'm gonna go to my local crew first. Mike, Diane, Roger. You keep in mind this is against Nebraska now, so okay. Alex. Okay, okay. Matthew, Roger, Nebraska. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you. All right. Steve Davidson, Steve Kent. I know. Oh, I thought you were going to say Nebraska. Thank you. Uh, did I get you, Isaiah? Hmm. Miriam. Okay. All right. NFL time, guys. Oh, wait. Before I go to NFL, can anybody can anybody give their thoughts on their teams from week three? Keep it brief though. Okay. Anybody have any thoughts from their teams from week three? Okay, but how the Giants did against the Cowboys. Well, that was actually week four, so we'll say it for next week. But any thoughts from week three? Yeah. Yes. Yes. All right. Anyone else? I know. I know. Murdered. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yes. Right. My thoughts on the Jets did absolutely superb against that team I will not mention by name, but you get the idea. I mean, look, this is not the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era of the Packers, and the Jets just annihilated him. I think was the best game we just played against them in like 2 decades and whatnot. So and they're up to a 3-1 start. This is their best start in quite a while. I mean, probably think since what 98, I think since 1998 season. So when you have Mark Sanchez, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it any way I can get, Alex. I'll, I'll take it any way I can get, whether it was Brady or not. I'll take it the way any way I can get. Yes, of course. Right. Yes, of course. Okay, so on to the NFL, and congratulations to the Jets. Let's hope that they can do it again. You know, tomorrow. All right. So I had Dallas over the Giants on Thursday. Steve Davidson, who did you have? Who'd you have, Steve? Steve Kent, Diane, Diane. Okay, Mike. Oh, that was a ridiculous question, of course. Alex, Betty, Matthew, Roger, right? Isaiah. Okay, and who did you have, Miriam? Okay, on to this week now. Okay, for tomorrow, we start with the Saints versus the Falcons. Steve Davidson, Steve Kent. Oh yeah, Diane, Mike. All right, Alex, Betty. Okay, uh, Matthew, Roger. Okay, Isaiah, Miriam. Hmm. All right, moving on. I'm taking the Saints. All right, Rams, Bears. Oh, this will be easy. Steve Davidson, Steve Kent, Diane, Mike, Alex, Betty, uh, Matthew, Roger, Isaiah, Miriam. Thank you. Rams, Vikings, Packers. Division matchup here. Okay, Steve Davidson. Hmm. All right, Steve Kent. Vikings and Packers. Divisional matchup. Diane, Mike, Alex, Eddie, Matthew. Yes. Roger, Isaiah, Miriam. I'm going Packers. Steelers undefeated against the Colts. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Okay. Diane. Mike. Okay. Okay. I get the point. Uh, Betty. Of course. Alex. Mike. Okay. Mike. Roger. Okay. Roger. Matthew. Isaiah. And Miriam. I'm going Steelers too. Okay. All right. Broncos, Jets. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Benny. Hmm. Matthew. Roger. Oh yeah. Isaiah. Isaiah. Miriam. Okay. The Bungles. I mean the Bengals versus the Panthers. Sorry about that. Steve Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Okay. Diane. Mike. Alex. Betty. Matthew. All right. Roger. Okay. Isaiah and Miriam. I think I missed one. Did I do Eagles Bucks? No, I did not. Eagles Bucks. Huh? Okay, Steve. All right. Steve Kent. Mike. Diane. All right. Alex. Right. Betty. Okay. Betty. All right. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Isaiah. Okay. And Miriam. I'll go with the Eagles. All right. Jaguars, Texans, Steve Davidson, Steve Kent. Okay. Uh, Diane, Mike, Mike, Alex. It's better. Yeah. Benny, Matthew, Roger, Isaiah. All right. And Miriam. I'm going with Houston. All right. Commanders, Cardinals, Steve Davidson, Steve Kent, Diane, Dana, Mike, Alex, Betty. Mhm. All right. Roger, Matt, Isaiah, and Miriam. Okay, I'm gonna go with I'll go with the Commanders. All right. That team I can't stand against the 49ers. Steve Davidson. Catch me a little bit. All right. Steve Kent. Okay. Diane. I Okay, Miriam, who do you got? Miriam, who do you got? New England or San Francisco? I'll get back to you. Oh, we have a, I got it. Yeah, thank you. Brother Walter, it's nice to hear from you. Okay. All right. Alex, Benny, Matt, Matt, Roger. Okay, I gotta move on, guys. Roger. Roger, say it again, Roger. Okay, okay. Isaiah, Matthew, are you there? Brother Walter. Okay. Nice to have you back on the show, Walter. It's been a long time. And he does a great show with us on Monday. So, okay, moving on. All right, Browns, Raiders. You know what, Benny? I'm gonna start this one with you. I thought so. Steve Davidson. All right, Steve Kent. Steve Kent. Right. Diane. Mike. Alex. Okay. Okay. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Walter. Okay. I'm going Raiders too. All right. I guess Betty had to step out. But thanks for coming on, Betty. All right. Chiefs, Chargers, Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Diane. Okay. Mike. Okay. All right, hang on a second. Okay. Alex. Alex. Yeah. Okay, Alex. We gotta move on. Okay. Okay, Matt. All right. Betty. No, Roger. All right. Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah. Brother Walter. And Betty. Okay, Kansas it is. Bills versus Ravens. Steve Davidson. Bills, Ravens. Bills and Ravens. All right. Diane, gotta do it though. Steve Kent. Mike. Alex. Matthew. Roger. Walter. Betty. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Two games on Monday night. Okay, Titans versus the Dolphins. Isaiah, of course. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Right. Okay. Fair enough. Diane. Mike. Alex. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Isaiah. Walter. And Betty. Dolphins is last one. It'll be Seahawks, Lions. Steve Davidson. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Betty. Matthew. Roger. Isaiah. Walter. I'm going Lions too. All right, Betty. The NBA season's approaching now, so what do you make with the coming season? And you have any thoughts on the WNBA playoffs? Sure, we do. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Only 1 year. Right. Now, Betty. Yeah, Betty. Do you think Diana Taurasi has played her last game in the WNBA? Right. Mm. I mean, I think she's still got some good stuff left in her, but she is starting to you know slow down a bit. But I think you're right. I think she's going to be 1 more year. As for Teresa Witherspoon, it is kind of surprising, but when you have a team like Chicago, Chicago Sky, which really wasn't that great, it's not really that surprising. Besides that, there's the Chicago Sky. I mean, whenever their team doesn't do well, they fire their coaches anyway. I mean, this is going to be their fourth in 5 years. I mean, they can't just not hold the coach together. Yeah, yeah. All right. So okay. Any thoughts on the WNBA? Yeah, I like it. I like it. So have I. Right. Toronto. Yes. I know. I know. All right. Becky Hammond, great former great player too. Great player, one of the great Windsor players. I remember when she played in the league. Yes. Yes. So am I. All right. All right. So moving on to the NBA now. Unless anyone else has any thoughts on that. Oh, by the way, Caitlin Clark, Rookie of the Year. What a surprise. But as for MVP, yeah, Angel Reese. AJ Wilson. AJ Wilson, no surprise there. But you, you have to give it to Caitlin, who was really taking the NBA, the popular WNBA by storm. Not to mention also Angel Reese, Angel Wilson, Sabrina Iskanu. All of them, all have made great contributions to the women's game, and I think it's going to grow. All right, so NBA, yeah, that's right. Wish I had one. All right, NBA. So let's go right down through the divisions. Okay, in the Atlantic we have the Celtics. Yuck. The Nets, the Knicks, who just got an interesting trade, the Sixers, and the Raptors. All right, Steve Davidson, who do you got in the Atlantic? Just give me who you think is just tell me who you think is going to win the division. Yuck. All right. Steve Kent. Okay, exactly. Thank you. Cat is coming to the Knicks. Although I am a little, but I think it's going to be kind of hard to trace, Jalen Bruce and a few others. So it's going to be. Nope. Nope. Yeah. Yes. Mm, right. All right, Steve. Who do you got in this division? You already did. All right. I'm sorry. Diane. What? Mike. Alex. Right. Right. Dante. Exactly. I got to speed it up. Matthew. Okay. Matthew. Okay. All right. Got to move on, guys. Matthew. All right. Benny. Roger. All right. I like that. Uh, Isaiah. Walter. No, I'm Walter. Thank you. All right. Now over to the Central. Oops. Let me go over here. Yeah. Okay. The Central. Bulls, Cavaliers, Pistons, Pacers, Bucks. Steve Davidson. Quickly. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Yeah. All right. Betty. Matthew. Yeah. Roger. Okay. Uh, Roger. Okay. Isaiah. Walter. Okay. And Betty. Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. All right. Moving on. We're running short on time, guys, so I gotta speed this along. All right. Moving on to the next one. In the Southeast, the Hawks, the Hornets, the Heat, Magic, Wizards. Steve Davidson. All right. Steve Kent. Diane. Mike. Alex. Matthew. Okay. Roger. Roger. Isaiah. Walter. Betty. All right. I'm going. This is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. Well, I can't go. I can't go with the Pistons. That's for sure. I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Miami. All right, Northwest. Nuggets, yeah. Nuggets, Wolves, Thunder, Blazers, Jazz. Steve Davidson. This. All right. Steve Kent, Diane, of course. Mike, I like that. All right, Alex, Betty, Matthew, Roger, Isaiah. You right. Uh, Walter. I'm going Thunder too. All right, two to go. Pacific, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Kings. Steve Davidson, Steve Kent, Diane. Okay, Mike. All right. Alex. Okay, yeah, right, right. Betty, Matthew. Okay, Matthew, Roger, Isaiah, and Walter. Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm going with the Kings. And finally, Betty, you got the Kings, right? Or the Lakers? Lakers. Okay, Southeast Mavericks, Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Spurs. Steve. Yes. Yes. Okay, Steve, Kent. Yes. Diane, Mike. Okay, Alex. Yeah. Benny. All right. Uh, Matthew, Roger, Walter. Okay, and this other guy, Coach Gray or somebody else. Oh, it might be Miriam. All right, guys. Quickly, best and worst of September. What have you got? Anybody? Right. Okay. Anyone else? Quickly. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I gotta make it quickly. Just a few more comments. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Go ahead, brother Walter. Yes. Okay. For me, it's what happened with the tailgate with the Lions game. Two people were killed. You call yourself fans. That's just a shame. Being a beautiful day, beautiful game, ends in tragedy like this. No excuse for that. And the best, Damar Hamlin with that interception last week. A year after we didn't think he was going to play again. Look what he did for the Bills. Look what he did for yeah. Exactly. All right, gang, we're just about out of time. We got to make way for Rasal. Stand by for his good show coming up. So, on that note, I'll bid you adieu. We'll be back next week and we'll check on the baseball playoffs and everything else. And I'll take your thoughts on the first four games of the NFL season. So, on that note, have a good week.